I'm actually doing this video because I wanted to do a different video. I was about to do a different video, but it made me think about the fact that I haven't done any videos for a while. This is a really bad idea, by the way. I'm trying to do a selfie stick with my phone on a floaty that's gonna have to, it's like already half deflated. It keeps deflating in my kind of blow up pool. So, I shouldn't be doing this. I already know I shouldn't be doing this. The last time I did something that I knew I shouldn't do with my phone was when I put my phone on a fence chasing what I thought was a goat. Turned out to be a deer. But I put it on the fence post, and then I thought to myself, don't do that. I was going to jump over the fence. I did it anyway. And I pulled myself up onto the fence and my phone fell off. Right onto the concrete that holds up the post, and I had it on video because I wanted to film the goat. My sister saw a goat in the neighbor's yard. There's a goat! Turned out to be a deer. No, that story's actually wrong. She thought she saw a deer in the backyard at my neighbor's, and it turned out to be a goat. And the goat was actually sort of a neighbor on the other side of the block down there on the meth side of the block. And the meth guys got mad at the guy with the animals and open the fence, and the goat escaped, and it was in my other neighbor's yard. And I got none of that on video because my phone was recording itself falling from the fence post onto concrete and smashing. So yeah, if suddenly this video turns into water bubbles, I already know that is a distinct possibility, and it's definitely my fault. So anyway, before I get into the video that I actually wanted to record, which is actually more evil video than this video, I was thinking, gosh, I haven't done a video in a long time, and then I was thinking, I told myself my next video was going to be about INTJs, because I haven't done any videos about INTJs, and I think I actually might be able to do an INTJ video now, strictly INTJ. I just didn't have enough data collected, because I didn't know enough INTJs, but I think I do now, even though still not that well. But I was thinking, for some reason, who is more evil, or who has the potential to be more evil? ENTJ or INTJ? Well, I was thinking about all the NTs, because I always go to NT when I think evil, but we have one shining example of what what real evil can definitely be, and that person is definitely not an intuitive. So perhaps actually sensors have the potential to be more evil. I guess I just realized that. Maybe I just always am like, oh, NTs, we're so everything. Obviously we could be the most evil, but I don't know. Potentially sensors could be more evil. Yeah, I might go with that actually. ESFJ. ESFJ could have the potential for the most evil. But out of the NTs, anyway, and not even the NFs. NFs could be evil too. So we're just going to stick to the NTs today. And I'm going to say, out of the NTs, I think the potential for the most evil has to come down to ENTJ and INTJ. Because ENTP will blow themselves up one way or another. ENTP is going to do themselves in, you know. Just look at Jeff Bezos. What is he? Is he? No, he's not an ENTP. He's probably ENTJ. But Elon Musk, he's definitely an ENTP. He's blown up his own spot quite a few times, although obviously not enough, not damaging enough, really. But I've known ENTPs, and I myself, except not evil. At least I try not to be. But I definitely have blown up my own spot plenty of times. And I know an evil ENTP who he was just too cocky in the end, you know. He was too cocky, and he didn't realize he was going up against another ENTP. Well, actually he did, but he was still too cocky. Anyway, point being, ENTP most likely will get distracted of whatever evil they're trying to do. It's taking too long. If they're not paired up with someone else, then ENTP would definitely need to have another NT or another somebody. ENTP would need someone if they were going to be truly evil and have it actually work out. That's what I think. So ENTP is out of the running. INTP just would do it. INTP would be capable of making the most evil, dastardly plans, probably. But INTP would also need a J, right? ENTP and INTP would both just need a J in their lives. Any J will do probably, as long as it's a J that can get stuff done and that thinks that the ENTP or the INTP is just like right, is completely devoted to the ENTP or the INTP. So, oh gosh, I think ENTP or INTP is definitely capable of that, provided they have the right backup or the right carrier outer of the plans or whatever it is. But strictly speaking, self only, then it's going to be ENTJ or INTJ. So now that we've established that the out of the NTs, the most potential for true evil, true supervillainism is going to be ENTJ or INTJ. So out of the two of those, now who? I'm going to go with INTJ because INTJ is just so calculating. ENTJ, well, they both have the potential to be duped, I think. But ENTJ has a greater potential to be duped. And I think ENTJ can also be pushed around in the right circumstance. In the right circumstance, ENTJ can be pushed around a bit. INTJ would only make someone think they were being pushed around. You know, like if the INTJ is like super smart and super wants to accomplish whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish and someone's trying to stop them, ENTJ actually could be pushed around. And again, it has to be the right circumstances. It has to be someone that they respect or look up to, or can somehow influence the ENTJ in some way because of one of those reasons. It has to be someone that the ENTJ would hold in high esteem. INTJ holds a lot less people in high esteem. INTJ might have like superheroes of their own, but a lot of the time those superheroes aren't anybody that the INTJ is ever going to meet in their real lives. So there's less likelihood that whoever it is the INTJ is holding on a pedestal is going to ever show up and tell them stop being evil. Whereas ENTJ, it might actually be a real person that they actually know that could potentially stop them from going through with their dastardly plans or something like that. And ENTJ also just may not have thought it through well enough. Like, they're really good at planning in the moment, but to be truly evil, a lot of the time you have to be very calculating and very long-range planning. And ENTJ flies by the seat of their pants a little bit more. They are long-term planners. They can definitely do that well. But they also, because of that NI, the extroverted thinking, backed up by the introverted intuition, they're going to act first. They're going to act quickly, more quickly, and they're going to go with their intuition out in the real world faster than the INTJ would. Because the INTJ is searching for all of the possibilities first and mapping them all out in their head. And also INTJ, well, everybody has this blind spot. It's not just INTJ and ENTJ, because they both do. Everybody has themselves as a blind spot, right? But ENTJ could be more, the right ENTJ anyway, can be a lot more open about their own faults and can, even if it takes a while, can readily recognize them and see them in themselves. Sometimes ENTJ will first say no. they don't have that fault, or that's not what's wrong. But ENTJ will go away and they will think about it. And I think it's because at TE, they're going to act out on what they think first before they think about it. So they're going to tell you no first. No, you're not right. Or no, I'm not like that. Blah, blah, blah. But then they're going to go away and NI is going to be working in the background. And it takes a little while for ENTJs to kind of come around to whatever it is. They have to sit with it. Just like INFJs, you guys have to sit with it as well. It's really interesting, actually. INFJs and ENTJs are really similar in that way, because they both need to like kind of go away when they're thinking about themselves or thinking about a big decision, or if they really want to think something through. They both are types that have to go away and be away and let it like sit with them before they can make an informed decision or before they can come to a realization. So ENTJs and INTJs, or INFJs, you're not really in danger of making snap decisions unless you're upset. INFJs upset will make snap decisions, and they're usually going to be the wrong ones, and I said that in the INFJ video. But ENTJs will make snap decisions and snap judgments and say things off the cuff, and then either one of those types shouldn't do that. If it's something that has to do with emotions, INFJs need to process, and ENTJs need to process even more, because ENTJs aren't naturally in tune with their own feelings. INFJs aren't either, because they have FE, which is pointed outward, and ENTJs have FI, which is pointed inward. So they're actually going to be more in touch with their own feelings than ENFJ, but it's the very last function. So it's going to take a lot longer for the whole, like, whatever it is to work its way through the cycle for an ENTJ. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Apparently I just needed to go off on an MBTI rant today. INTJ will pretend that they're being pushed around, or pretend that they're being persuaded out of something, or like just totally front, like if they have to. If they don't have to, they won't. They'll dig their heels in, and they will be right, or they will charge ahead with whatever their plan is. But if they have to, INTJ will totally fake everyone else out. Like, they will totally make everyone else think that they are like going along with whatever. But INTJ won't actually be doing that, because INTJ is always the smartest person in the room to the INTJ, right? INTJ has a problem with self-awareness. I would say that's probably INTJ's biggest foible, biggest challenge. I would say biggest challenge is self-awareness. And sometimes INTJ thinks they're self-aware, especially like an evil INTJ thinks that they're self-aware, and they think that they know how others are seeing them, and they've even gone so far as to concoct a whole public persona, like a public face, even like social activities, and maybe they enjoy some of those things, but they have like this side to them, this like really like kind of outgoing social side. And if you look hard enough, especially if it's an evil one anyway, if you look hard enough and there's an INTJ and they're way too social, or way too like, my life is so like, yeah, then there's something up there. Because and I'm not saying there can't be social, friendly INTJs. There definitely can be, but we're talking evil ones here. If it's an evil one, then there's going to be a lot of concoctedness about INTJ's face that they put toward the world. And I think that's where they are not suspecting anyone to ever see through that, or call them out, or know that it's a facade. Self-awareness, or self-perception, or seeing themselves how others might see them, I think that is one of the biggest challenges. Also caring. Caring, if they even can, and then caring at all how others might see them. Because INTJ a lot of the time don't care, or they feel that they know how others should see them, and so if others don't see them that way, then it's not their fault. It's everyone else's fault for not seeing them the way that they think that you all should see them. You know? And therefore you don't get anywhere with an INTJ, which is why they have, another reason why they have the most propensity for evil, because they're more likely to be like, F it, I don't care what y'all think, y'all are wrong, you guys don't understand me. And where ENTJ eventually might pause and think about it. And I think self-delusion is another, it goes right along with that. Self-delusion is another problem area for INTJs, because they can delude themselves into thinking, believing whatever it is right, or whatever it is correct in a situation. INTJs, like all NTs, they can be open to changing their mind and changing their opinion. And with ENTPs, a lot of the time you have to have data. Or I'm sorry, with NTs, if you want to change an opinion, you have to have data. You have to have a better argument than the argument or belief that the NT already has. NTJs are harder, because NTPs, we already naturally take different points of view. We jump into different perspectives. ENTP and INTP are going to be more easily persuaded if something makes logical sense to them. ENTJ and INTJ are going to be more prone to digging in their heels. But again, like I said, first of all, ENTJ is an extrovert. That means that they're more open to the outside world anyway. And their information is coming from, you know, their decision making is coming from inside. What's influencing their decision making, but their actual decisions, their actions are happening first in the outside world. I think because of that, ENTJ is just more open to changing their mind. It's just going to take them a little while, ENTJ. INTJ will just dig in their heels, even to their own detriment. So INTJ would definitely be the one that goes down with the ship. Like, they believe so firmly in whatever it is that they can save the Battlestar Galactica, and that it's not going to blow up, and that they are going to be able to destroy the moon or something, even though all the sensors are going off and everyone's abandoning ship and taking off in the escape pods. And INTJ will believe that they, with the force of their own cerebral power, magnitude, will repair the ship and blast those effers and all the ones that just left on the escape pods into the deepest, darkest parts of space. To cap it up, to wrap things up, INTJ is more likely to be the villain, the super villain, because they are the best at long-term plans, calculating contingency plans. They're going to map everything out in their head first. There's less likelihood that they're going to be making errors, and because of that, they know that. So there's also less likelihood that they're going to be persuaded from their plan, and less likely to see themselves and understand that what they're doing is either wrong or affects anyone else at all. And I guess I gotta wrap it up. I may be giving ENTJ just a little bit too much credit here, because if ENTJ is at the point that they're in supervillain mode, then it's probably past the point of no return for them. So it's not like they're really going to have any moments of clarity or self-awareness or be talked out of it. They won't. But I still think that INTJ is going to be the more dastardly of the two, because I think INTJ's plan will just be more destructive and far-reaching, less likely of being foiled. Not that ENTJ wouldn't also be able to cause major havoc. They would be able to. And ENTJ probably would be fairly decent at having like a cult-like following, people that really look up to them and think they can do no wrong, probably. I think ENTJ could probably be decent at that. Or on the flip side, just being a bit of a tyrant and in a position of power enough where they could get away with it, because they've managed to get themselves into like a position of power through a lot of scheming, probably. And potentially with like some bona fide skills and talents, because the ENTJs are super smart and very capable and have a lot of different talents. ENTJ would also make a great evil supervillain, but I just think that INTJ, even if their plan doesn't work out, the plan would be more inherently evil. So I don't know. Does that mean that the ENTJ, if their plan actually works out, is the more evil one, or INTJ because the plan was more evil from the get-go? I don't know. You decide.